goal is quite simple. Let's unite people with cancer. Let's eradicate the stigma associated with this disease, and let's urge our world leaders to take appropriate action against the #1 killer in the world. The interesting thing about Lance Armstrong is that he started this organization and this movement before he ever won the Tour de France. When he left Indiana University, finishing his chemotherapy, his doctor said, "Lance, you have something called the obligation of the cured. You have a chance to take this obligation, tell your story, talk about what you've been through, and hopefully inspire and empower others who will be impacted by this disease." We've done that by creating a community of cancer survivors around the world whose sole mission is to make cancer a global priority and ultimately eradicate the suffering and death that it causes. At the foundation, we use 3 words to symbolize and mark our work: navigation, innovation, and transformation. When somebody is diagnosed with cancer, we must help them navigate the system to ensure that they have the best opportunity to live with a high quality of life. We must continue to be innovative and develop new partnerships with people who aren't thinking about cancer today, people who have never had the opportunity to get involved in a social movement around a chronic disease. And we must be innovative. In transformation, we are not looking for incremental results. That is not why we do this. We are looking for transformative results that will ultimately change the world. Now, we were blessed in 2004 with the creation of this little yellow piece of silicon that came around at a time to honor Lance as he was riding in his sixth Tour de France. Kevin and Nike and others of our partners sat around and developed this concept and said, we're going to do something to show the world that yellow can be a symbol of hope and inspiration. And this yellow wristband did just that. In the Tour de France in 2004, 90+% of the riders, no matter what nationality or what team, wore this yellow wristband. Cancer does not discriminate. It does not care where you live. It does not care where you come from. It does not care how much money you have or the color of your skin. And yet we know from our experience that by creating a grassroots movement of individuals and their families who care, who've survived, who've witnessed the devastation that this disease brings, we can create a global campaign to eradicate the suffering and death due to this disease. Now, when I was a young child, my parents taught me a very important lesson, and that is the difference between a community and a crowd. And the difference is quite striking and actually quite simple. And that is, in a crowd, people push, and they shove, and they elbow, and they fight to get ahead of one another. And in a community, people take a deep breath, they look around, and they realize that at the end of the day, ultimately, no one gets ahead unless we all move forward together. It's an honor to be part of this community with you. While we may be focused on cancer, we are absolutely committed to working with all of you on issues of sport, social change, so that we can ultimately make this world that we all inhabit a better place for our children and generations to come. Thank you so much.